Today on Studio G, reporter Tommy Laren takes a look at why Nevada is still at the bottom tier of education.
Jordan Hardy will update you on your Runnin' Rebel athletics.
And Honey Love will have your daily weather forecast.
All this and more right now on Studio G. Welcome to Monday's episode of Studio G. I'm Heather Fairberger.
And I'm Farron Enos. According to nationwide education indicators, the state of Nevada is ranked at the bottom and some reports dead last when it comes to education. Reporter Tommy Laren has more.
Are in, and though the battle-born state is showing modest improvement, we still have a long way to go. According to the 2013 national report, Kids Count, sponsored by the Annie E. Casey Foundation, Nevada is ranked dead last in the nation for the second year in a row. The 2013 Kids Count report ranks states based on 16 indicators. It's designed to measure how factors such as education, economic status, health, and overall family well-being affect a child's performance in and out of the classroom. Nevada ranked near the bottom on nearly all of the 16 indicators. The state ranked 48th nationally, outpacing only Mississippi and New Mexico. Nevada ranks 44th in the nation in per-pupil spending on education, which leads some to believe that the state's educational funding is the problem, accounting for poor performance and a low national ranking. UNLV political science professor David Demore believes education is not enough of a priority in the state.
We never really did a good job investing in our people, right, in terms of education, in terms of universities and higher education. In fact, those took the biggest cuts during the recession, and that's why we're struggling compared to the Utahs of the world, our neighbor next door, and even Arizona to the south of us. They've just done a better job investing in their people, and now they're reaping the rewards, and Nevada's just trying to play catch up.
Some UNLV students also feel education needs more attention.
Well, it comes to no surprise that we're ranked fairly low, but I think it stems from a misplacement of priorities of Nevada. Rather than focusing and putting their attention in developing the student as a thinker, they'd rather pour in money and get them to train so that they can then go into a worker bee type of system. Here in Nevada, it feels like we're just high school, middle school, you're just training future casino workers.
Nevada needs to up its secondary education a little bit more, just so the students are better prepared for their college.
I think we definitely need to refocus what we kind of prioritize in our education system, more focus on outreach programs, more focus on school lunch programs, more focus on getting the most qualified teachers into place, and less focus on keeping teachers there for long periods of time, because those types of tenured positions don't always lead to the best type of teaching. There is probably a middle ground that could get us away from raising taxes. And yeah, there might be resistance, but sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Though Nevada's ranking is abysmal, the state did improve on 11 of the 16 indicators. Improvement comes slowly, but perhaps there is hope for education in the Silver State. For Studio G, I'm Tommy Laren.
Nevada also ranks last in the nation in graduation rate and preschool participation, and near the bottom in grade school reading proficiency. Hopefully the state can turn this around in the coming years.
The man who died while swimming in the Pumpkin Man Triathlon at Lake Mead has been identified. 59-year-old Patrick Hayden from Las Vegas was found Saturday in Lake Mead. Officials said a kayaker who was patrolling the event at Boulder Beach flagged down rangers who were nearby on a National Park Service patrol boat. When rangers arrived, Hayden was found unresponsive. He was also rushed by ambulance to Boulder City Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 9:30 in the morning.
One was killed and 3 were injured in a Las Vegas shooting earlier this morning. A man opened fire at a nightclub at Bally's Hotel and Casino after an argument over a cover charge. A manager and security guard were injured, and a patron was killed after trying to subdue the gunman, who was also injured. The person is in custody, but no names have been released.
Red lights at intersections always mean to stop, but at the beginning of this month, changes were made to that rule for motorists, bicyclists, and small cars. Reporter Elena Ledbetter has more.
Most intersections in Las Vegas are weight detected, and stopping at red lights can be an inconvenience for motorists. But a new law that was passed this month may be changing that.
Stay Safe on Red is a new law that allows motorists to wait through 2 sessions at an intersection before running the red light. BMW motorcyclist Kurt Asplund, who has been riding for 35 years, sees this law as a help for motorists who are riding alone or in groups on Las Vegas's roads.
When you're in that situation, it's kind of unnerving just sitting there because you just want to go. You don't want to be, the longer you're parked, you don't want to have anybody come up behind you and hit you or anything.
Being stationary on a bike is hazardous for any motorist. This law was put into place to keep traffic flowing. Nevada Highway Patrol Trooper Loy Hickson believes the law is effective, but only if the citizens in Nevada are educated about it.
We looked at the way of how we can make traffic move more efficiently, implemented this law, but of course the education is out there also so that everyone understands it.
For the rest of this month and the next, Nevada Highway Patrol will be educating the community about this law through public service announcements, motorcycle safety courses, and other vehicle courses. Safety is a concern for many motorists, especially since Las Vegas has had 24 motorcycle fatalities. Law enforcement hopes by educating the people of Las Vegas, less motorcycle fatalities and accidents will occur.
When it comes to traffic, we definitely want to make sure people are aware of the things we're out here doing is for their safety, to keep them safe for themselves and their family.
Staying safe on a motorcycle is harder than staying safe in a car, and with this new law, Asplund encourages motorists not to abuse it.
When you're out there on a motorcycle and you have one headlight, you are almost invisible. In fact, maybe you can say that you are invisible. I think by respecting this law, doing what they say, following it to the T, no one's going to get in trouble and everybody is going to stay safe.
Safety is key, so before using the law, make sure to look both ways before running the light.
For Studio G, I'm Elena Ledbetter.
The new law has been in effect for 21 days now, and larger vehicles on the road are encouraged to watch out for these motorists practicing this law, especially at night.
2 people were killed and 2 were injured in a shooting this morning at Sparks Middle School outside Reno, Nevada. According to authorities, the suspect, who was a student and a teacher, were among those killed, and 2 minors are in critical condition at Renown Regional Medical Center. Students were taken to a nearby high school to meet their parents, and no names have been released.
After the break, Jamie Seymour will have this week's edition of National News. Don't go anywhere.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Welcome back from the break for this week's segment of National News, where I bring you the latest headlines from across the nation. With the recent pass of Obamacare, there have been many issues resulting from the government's website. The Obamacare website is having many problems with people signing up for health insurance under President Obama's health care reform. Although the president argued that the law was still good and that issues with the website would be resolved, House Republicans were not in favor after temporarily shutting down the government. President Obama remains optimistic, though, that middle-class families will continue to root for Obamacare's success.
I think we've learned that this was a political gift to the president by the Republican Party at a time he needed it the most.
Will we have a female presidential candidate for the 2016 election? Many were wondering that after Hillary Clinton made an appearance on Saturday at a rally for Terry McAuliffe, a gubernatorial candidate for Virginia.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Next. She was relaxed, confident, and authoritative as she spoke in her first big political speech since leaving the State Department. Clinton has not confirmed if she'll be running for president, though.
We have seen examples of the wrong kind of leadership. When politicians choose scorched earth over common ground, when they operate in what I call the evidence-free zone,
the Bay Area is seeing a lot of traffic jams and angry passengers since this past weekend. The Bay Area Rapid Transit, the nation's 5th largest train system, has been shut down. BART workers are currently on strike due to contracts, leading to the transit system shut down on Friday. Because of the lack of public transportation throughout the system, many San Francisco and Oakland streets, bridges, and freeways were left with more traffic than usual during the morning and evening rush hours. Union leaders hope for this to be resolved soon. That is all the current headlines I have for you this week. Tune in next week to get more of your news from across the nation. Now let's send it back to the studio.
Thanks, Jamie. Florida authorities say they're happy to have 2 convicted killers back in custody.
2 Florida convicted murderers are back behind bars after being released based on forged paperwork. Charles Walker and Joseph Jenkins were found in Panama City, Florida.
Panama City Police Department officers, the United States Marshals, and FDLE agents late Saturday received key information through an associate of one of the inmates, helping us pinpoint their location. Around 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the aforementioned team surrounded room 227 of the Coconut Grove Motor Inn in Panama City Beach.
We got information that they were here at the Coconut Grove Motor Inn. We were able to identify that they were in room 227. We surrounded the room this afternoon at about 6:20. We made announcements over our PA systems that they were surrounded, and after about a minute or two, both of the fugitives came out and surrendered to us.
Family members of the victims are relieved that the 2 murderers were caught.
I called my children, and I told them, Bianca, they got him. They got him.
For Crystal Pugh, it's the end of an emotional ordeal. One of the men, Joseph Jenkins, was sent to prison for killing her husband.
No sleep, praying to God that they get captured. And my prayers was answered today.
Charles Walker and Joseph Jenkins are held without bond and will return in court on October 25th.
Authorities are now hoping to find out who helped the 2 men with the forged documents.
Stay tuned. After the break, Jordan Hardy will show us how our Runnin' Rebels looked at the Scarlet and Gray Showcase.
My name is James Grant.
King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May Maguerza.
I'm Savannah. Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe.
Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype. And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for Happy Hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2.
91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on Rebcast.com.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, we provide 1,300 hot meals a day through 3 of our kitchens. We have about 650 people sleeping in beds provided by the Salvation Army every night. We have 127,000 of people that we touch every year. It's huge, and people have no idea that we do more than have thrift stores and ring bells at Christmas.
It's going to be a beautiful 76 degrees, no winds, which is always good. Tonight, the lows will get down to 56 degrees, so getting a little chilly. However, back in 1949, it got down to 32 degrees, so a big difference right there, but not too bad. Just want to put a coat on. Taking a look at the weather in other parts, 56 degrees down in San Francisco, 64 over in Reno, and 72 over in Bishop. And going on to our satellite radar, for those of you that don't know about Hurricane Raymond, it has hit the down here in Mexico. However, it's not expected to hit the U.S., but if you take a look right here, it is bringing a lot of rain down to the Gulf Coast of Mexico and into Texas. And also, I want to make sure that I let you guys know, there is a frost and freeze advisory for the Midwest. So make sure you cover up your vegetation because it can damage plants. On looking at weather in other parts, 54 degrees in Kansas, 77 down in Houston, and 69 out there in Denver, Colorado. Our 7-day extended forecast, it's going to be beautiful in the 78s to 80s throughout the whole week, and then hitting down to the low 60s for the rest of the week. And that is our weather. Now back to Jordan Hardy at the desk with some sports. Hey, Jordan.
Thanks, honey. Well, I'm Jordan Hardy and here to update you on your running Rebels. Over the weekend, Rebels head coach Dave Rice announced Savon Goodman will not play another game for UNLV. Goodman decided to leave the program following his off-season felony charges related to an alleged burglary in May. Goodman, a sophomore forward from Philadelphia, allegedly stole $500, a pair of shoes, and 26 video games in May from friends' apartments. Goodman was charged August 15th in Las Vegas Township Justice Court with conspiracy to commit burglary, and grand larceny. In a statement issued to the university, Goodman said, "I have enjoyed my time at UNLV, and I am thankful for the support of the fans, my teammates, and coaches since I have been here. However, I have felt a lot of pressure the last few months. I feel it is best for me to leave the program at this time. Even though I am from Philadelphia, I will always think of Las Vegas as another home." Goodman is scheduled to appear in court November 12th for a preliminary hearing. Basketball season is back in action this year.
The Running Rebels were more than ready to play in front of the 5,000 fans that attended the Scarlet & Gray Showcase game last Thursday. The night included a three-point shootout won by Lady Rebel Elena Cesars and freshman guard Charles Rushman, followed by the Scarlet & Gray scrimmage. Coach Rice is integrating 9 new players into the mix. He talks about how he plans to see them play into the game this season.
We're excited about the group we have. We certainly have some experienced guys coming back, but a lot of new faces. And so certainly we want it to be competitive, and it will be with the guys we've got. It's always important to get out in front of fans, under the lights. We went a million miles a minute the first few minutes, but that's typical. Guys were excited to play, and the ball was getting thrown everywhere.
Juniors Kim Birch and Bryce-Zon Jones will be heavily relied on this season. Birch had an in-court to in-court dunk, 2 blocks plus points on the board, finishing with the alley-oop off the backboard from Daquan Cook. Zazon Jones led in scoring with 12 points, helping lead his Scarlet team to a 31-27 victory against Birch's Gray squad.
When I was a freshman, I didn't have encouragement, so I try to encouragement and give them all the confidence they can have.
We have great team chemistry. Everybody can play with everybody, so I mean, it's real exciting. I love coming out here playing on this court in front of these great fans. It's real exciting, and I can't wait for this season.
After tonight, the fans look forward to seeing the new faces on the court and another season of excellence for the Running Rebels.
I think they can at least minimum go Sweet 16, minimum.
For Studio G, I'm Jordan Hardy.
The Rebels will have an exhibition game November 1st against Dixie State at 8 p.m. in the Thomas & Mack. Coming off a 4-game winning streak, the first time since 2000 season, the UNLV football team visited 17th-ranked Fresno State Bulldogs. The Rebels hung in tough in the first half, being down only 28-14. But in the second half, the Rebels' offense stalled, was no match for the Bulldogs. Fresno State went on to win the game 38-14, snapping the Rebels' winning streak. Despite the loss, the Rebels did have one bright spot that came up at an unwanted cost. Running back Tim Cornette set UNLV's career rushing record, surpassing Mike Thomas's total over 3,158 yards for his career. But 8 years later, this senior running back was down on the turf at Bulldog Stadium, clutching his right knee at the Rebels. As the Rebels worried about losing much more than the game, the seriousness of the injury is still unknown. Cornette is scheduled to receive an MRI today, and we will know more when the team releases the injury report on Tuesday. That's all I have for you today. Elena Ledbetter will update us on more information about the UNLV Mega Event Center.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Located on the campus of UNLV on Brussels Street sits Housel House, the Center for Social Justice. A place where everyone can participate, explore cultural identity, share different experiences, and learn leadership skills. No judgments. You are accepted, you are important, and you are welcomed.
Stand up, speak out, and change the world.
Welcome back from the break. We're joined today with Russell Rowe, who is an attorney representing the university with the Stadium Project. Hello, how are you doing, Russell?
I'm great, Elena. How are you?
That's great. I'm wonderful today. Can you tell me about the Omega Event Center that we have a project going on about?
We do indeed. In a nutshell, the project is about bringing on-campus football to UNLV. As you know, we have a stadium 15 miles outside of this campus, and we want to bring it to campus and create campus life and a better football program.
Okay. Now, before it was labeled the UNLV Now, it's now titled Mega Event Center. What's new about it? Why the change?
Yeah, there's a bit of confusion about that, and understandably so. So there was initially an effort called UNLV Now, which was a partnership between UNLV and a development company called Majestic Realty, with tremendous resources and expertise in development projects, including LA Live and the Staples Center. But as that process moved on over the last 2 years, it became apparent that this was much more a community project that needed input from the entire community, the industries around us. So the legislature, as part of AB 335, which passed last session, created the UNLV Campus Improvement Authority Board, which has representatives both from the gaming industry as well as the university regents and locally elected officials.
Okay, so you said it's more for the community, as you were saying, the difference about it.
It is. UNLV is a community asset. It's publicly owned. The land is publicly owned. And the previous effort with UNLV Now was focused much more on building a facility that was meant to bring in mega events, which is why it was deemed a mega events center. But what we've done now through AB 335 is really hit the reset button, come back with this community board, so to speak, and reassess the project, the feasibility of it, costs, scope, what functions would it serve, what type of events would be on campus, is it appropriate to have a facility that's broader than just for the university, but for the gaming community and the resort industries.
Now, what kind of events will be held here?
Well, that's a good question. We know for sure UNLV football, right? I mean, that is why the effort began in the first place. Beyond that is really going to be determined based on what the outcomes are from the board and their investigations.
Okay. Will this cost the university a hefty price, hefty dollar sign?
Well, any stadium's going to be expensive, right? And a stadium today is anywhere, at least $100 million or more. For your typical college stadium, you're probably looking at a $250 million. The UNLV Now project was looking at $1 billion. The sweet spot is probably somewhere in between. When you ask, will it cost the university? It will not cost students anything. It's been made very clear through this process that students would not be participating in the cost of this. It'll be a community effort, and if the community wants it, the community will have to pay for it.
Okay, wonderful. I'm glad it's not going to be costing any of us anything. And thank you so much about all this information regarding the Mega Event Center that will be, talked about in the future. Thank you for having this interview with us, and stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Studio G.
Collegiate Deca promotes personal and professional development through competitive events, community involvement, and leadership development.
I joined Deca because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. So I got to meet people, network, and definitely work on my public speaking.
To join Deca, it's a very simple process. You have to pay a $25 membership fee. You can either come to our next meeting, our website, which is unlvdeca.co.vu.
We're open to all majors who are interested in business, finance, or hospitality-related fields.
My name is James Grant.
King Louie here.
This is Jennifer.
Crystal May Maguerza.
I'm Savannah.
Zoe here.
This is your boy Miles Lowe.
Christian FGY.
Kaylin Hype.
And I'm Jay Luna.
My Mind's Music.
Gonzo Radio.
Combox Radio.
Join us for Happy Hour.
The Miles Lowe Midweek Show.
Ill Vibe Theory.
On KUNV.
KUNV. KUNV.
KUNV HD2.
91.5 The Rebel.
Broadcast on revcast.com.
The renovated Tropicana Theater is hosting the hotel's first resident musical production since Foley's Bergère closed 4 years ago. Mamma Mia is returning to Las Vegas, set to open in the Tropicana Hotel in spring of 2014. The musical spent 6 strong years at Mandalay Bay before moving out for 2008's Disney's The Lion King. Moved in. Creator and producer Judy Kramer said in a statement, "It's so exciting that Mamma Mia is returning to the fabulous Las Vegas. We are so thrilled to be invited to the new Tropicana and is the perfect hotel for us to bring this original show."
The Strip isn't the only place to find a good show to watch in Las Vegas. This past weekend was opening night for a dance concert at Artemis Hall here on campus. Bianca Valdez has more.
And UNLV Orchestra combined together for this performance of In Orchestra. Let's take a look at how it went. They performed 3 different pieces. The first was Afternoon of a Faun. Taras Karasa, the music director and conductor, said the choreography was from the original production that debuted in 1862.
And we used original choreography by a great Russian balletmeister Nijinsky. So the project was to restore the way it's been choreographed the very first time.
The second performance was Mother Goose Suite. This set featured a Little Red Riding Hood character and a big bad wolf. Avery Walker played the wolf.
I think it went very well. Everybody seemed to be proud of what they did individually. The choreographer seemed happy, the audience seemed happy. So,
the final performance was Igor Stravinsky's Rite of Spring. This performance utilized many different props, including flower lights and suitcases. The dancers all received a standing ovation, but there would not be a performance without the music orchestrated by UNLV students. When asked how long it took his orchestra students to practice, Gresar said,
2.5 weeks for Stravinsky, A Rite of Spring. We've played Debussy and Ravel in the previous concerts, but Stravinsky, Rite of Spring, a piece of enormous complexity and technical and artistic difficulties, but our students are very good.
2 weeks is a very short time to practice, but UNLV Orchestra and UNLV dancers pulled together the first combination performance and had an amazing turnout on opening night. They were expecting a lot less people, but could always use more. Gresar and Walker had one last thing to say.
Please come again. It's very special here.
Send more people.
Bianca Valdez, reporting for Studio G.
To find out more about dance and fine arts events, visit the College of Fine Arts website at finearts.unlv.edu. Well, that does it for today's show. I'm Heather Fairberger.
And I'm Farron Enos. Tune in for more Studio G tomorrow. And from all of us here at Studio G, have a great day, Las Vegas.